What's up, guys? So today I'm going to give a training guide for the new pack with Haaland, Nico Williams and Cole Palmer. If we have a look at Nico Williams first, he does have momentum dribbling, so that'll give him a boost to his dribbling stats when he's in the final third, kind of more around the box. It basically just makes him faster. This is the build I'm going for. I have Nico Williams' Player of the Week card on my RTG, and he's very good. I actually quite like him a lot, and with momentum dribbling, I can see him being very effective so far. So if we take a look at the build, you can see that we're just trying to get the balance to 85, the dribbling to 99 after the boosts. Unfortunately, we can't get the finishing to 85 as well. If we wanted to do that, we would have to take off probably speed a little bit. Now, speed is his booster stat, but you'd have to take off quite a bit to get it to 85. So you're going to have to take off the dribbling too, and that would give you the 88 finishing, which won't be bad in terms of the dribbling not being 99. I like having 99 on stats. So if you're purely focused on his dribbling, go for the build I had a moment ago. And then if you want a more well-rounded card, go for this build here. If we take a look at Williams' skills, he starts off with a good bunch. The first thing I'm going to do is recommend you put flip-flap on him for the level 3 double touch, and then go for acrobatic finishing too afterwards. So when he's shooting off balance, he's a little bit better. So those two skills are the main ones you need. After that, you're kind of just looking at kind of extra skills. So then I'd go for either cut behind and turn or Marseille turn, whichever one you prefer. Then probably first time shot and long range shooting, or first time shot and one touch pass, whichever one you think's better. His kick and power isn't the greatest, so maybe don't go for the long range shooting and just go for the one touch pass instead. If we take a look at the next player, it's Haaland, and it's a big disappointment because he doesn't have phenomenal finishing, which is annoying. He doesn't have very high weak foot either. Now, he is a goal poacher, actually, so I don't think we've had a Haaland goal poacher before, so this would make him a lot better. Fox in the box, in theory, should be a good playstyle, and Haaland would be a good Fox in the box based on how he plays in real life and in the game, but just the AI movement isn't good in Fox in the box at the moment. So hopefully we're going to get a kind of overhaul to how that performs. But yeah, as a goal poacher, he'll be good. If we take a look at his stats, this is the build I've went for first. You can see that we've got 100 shooting, sorry, rather 100 finishing. And then I didn't level the dribbling. Usually I level dribbling, like I'm a dribbler. I recommend it, but with the way Haaland is, you're not going to get his dribbling to a decent enough level, in my opinion. But so this is the build I'd go for. You can see that we got the 95 speed, so he should feel fast, 96 kick and power, and 98 offensive awareness. As a goal poacher, should be effective. Now, if you are interested in getting the dribbling up, you just go down to 95 on the finishing, and then put the points into dribbling. And there, you're getting 82 dribbling, but we can try get that tight possession and ball control up as well. So what I would do is, it looks like, you'd want to take off dexterity, but you want to keep that 90 threshold. So really, you're going to have to take off a little bit of lower body, probably to keep the kick and power to 95, and then the rest off on the aerial strength. And then, you're still not getting the 80 tight possession. So I don't think it's worth it. You could do this build though, because if you get an up arrow on the form, you will get to 80 tight possession there. So I would recommend either the very first build. Yeah, I'd recommend the first build I did with the 100 finishing. I think that would be the best on him. If you do want a kind of well-rounded build with 95 finishing though, we'll go back to 90 physical contact, get the speed back up, and then we can get the dexterity up to a little bit more, and then you get 100 offensive awareness too, and that should make his runs, in theory, very strong. Those last 2 points, you can't really put them anywhere. You can put them into aerial. I guess it's not that more effective, so you'd probably go into dribbling, or you could go into finishing, but I would recommend that. You're not going to notice 96 finishing against 95, so I would go for the dribbling. So that's this build for Haaland. If we look at his skills, he actually does start off with some very decent skills. He starts off with pretty much all of the necessary ones. He's got first time shot, acrobatic finishing, one touch pass. He has aerial superiority, fighting spirit. Interestingly, this one doesn't have super sub, but pretty much every other version of Haaland has super sub, so I would recommend putting super sub on him. And the reason for that is players with really high offensive awareness and that are fast are a lot better with super sub for some reason. I think it's because back in PES, they used to show us what super sub, the boost to the stats they used to give, and they used to give, like, let's say 6% or whatever, or 3% to every stat, and then there was a few stats that I gave more to, and I think one of them was offensive awareness, and then the others were, I think, acceleration as well. So I think something I've noticed in my time playing this game for many hours is that the fast strikers with good offensive awareness are better with super sub. That'd be the first skill I would give him. After that, you're going to want to give him a cut behind and turn. You know, usually I recommend cut behind and turn or Marseille turn. I think for him, just cut behind and turn. I don't think he's going to be good enough at dribbling to hit that Marseille turn quick enough. You could go for both though. It's not going to be it's not like Marseille turn's not going to be good on him. It's just I think cut behind and turn would be better. Then I would also go for heel trick just because he's kind of stiff and big. If you hit a ball up to him, you want them to be able to hit it to someone else very kind of quickly, off balance, bad angle. So heel trick should be the most effective for that. Now he does have rising shot, and rising shot is very good on strikers with good finishing and kicking power. I know it kind of sounds obvious, but if you don't have good finishing, rising shot's actually just terrible. I have Roberto Carlos with rising shot, and he always hits it over the bar. But if you have good finishing, it's very effective. So when you're using this Haaland, if you get him, make sure you use stunning shots and try hit the rising shot with him. It'll be very clinical in front of goal. I'd probably go for a double touch too. Just not that it's going to be too effective with him, but it would just be handy to have if you need to get out of a kind of tight area. True passing will be good too. Now his stats for passing aren't great, but we're going to give him every little bit of help we can get. He only has 64 passing on my build. I think actually every build I don't think I give him any passing. So I think he's not going to be a great passer if you give him true passing, but it'll help him be a difference between someone who can't pass at all and maybe pass when it's important. And then for the other skills, I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to give him because I just don't think if he needs more dribbling stats to give him more skills, that'd be appropriate. You could give him soul control to set up knock-on shots. I don't know if you're going to have the space to hit a knock-on shot with him very often, though. He's not going to have much space. It will help if you do put double touch on him. The soul control will help make that double touch a little bit better. If you have double touch and soul control, the animation's a little bit different. One skill I wouldn't recommend is outside curler. He doesn't have enough curl in my opinion, and he has good kicking power and finishing, so I would just be hitting powerful shots. But I wouldn't recommend well, I mean, finesse shots on his left foot will be fine. Across goal, if you try and hit the outside curler, I've found in my personal experience that curl is pretty important for outside curler. Who would have thought? But yeah, I don't think I'd recommend it on him. Although I guess if you're like, I don't know, actually, I think even if you hit a right foot finesse shot with him because his kicking power is really high, he'll be better with that. Like, I know I said curl's important and outside curl is pretty obvious. I've actually found the opposite for normal finesse shots. I feel kicking power is more important than curl for normal ones. So his weak foot finesse shots on the right foot shouldn't be even too bad with the build, with the kicking power. So that's what I'd recommend on him. And then the last player is Cole Palmer. Now Palmer has visionary pass, which basically means when you play a pass with Palmer, whoever receives it will either have a better first touch, or if they do a first time shot or a first time pass, it'll be more accurate and powerful. So it's actually a decent play style. I have it on my De Bruyne, and it's good for attacking midfielders. I believe Jorginho came out orchestrator. It wouldn't be as effective on him because he's deeper, but if you're with a attacking midfielder playing through balls, actually, I was using De Bruyne and Haaland, a different version of Haaland for a combo like this, and it made Haaland really good because he is stiff. He doesn't have great dribbling. So when you play the ball into Haaland with the visionary pass, you can just hit shoot, and even if you're a bit off balance or not a great angle, it's more likely to be a goal. So yeah, the visionary pass skill is pretty good. Cole Palmer, if we look at his build, so this is what I went for here. We're going for the 95 on all the dribbling stats, 98 in tight possession, 90 low pass, and then the speed is to 85, and then the balance is to 85 too for the +3 boost. So this is a more dribbling and passing build. You can see his finishing's quite low. I will give a different build for the finishing, but this one is probably the one I'd recommend the most, just because I think because he has visionary pass, you should be using that visionary passes more often and shoot with him less. But his dribbling's really good, so he's fast and he's got good dribbling, so he will get into areas where he can shoot good chances, in the sense that you don't actually have to rely on high finishing. You can get him into a good area to shoot. So that's the first build I recommend. If you want to build with more finishing though, you would take off the points on dribbling to get him to 95 tight possession, and then put the rest of the points into finishing. That last point can't go anywhere except for aerial. So that's what I would do there. The reason you go for this level of dribbling is just because of 95 tight possession for the threshold. Unfortunately, his finishing is still quite low. You could go for a build with less speed and more finishing, and then that'll get to 86, and then we can actually even get to 88. So that's another build you could do. He's not going to be as fast or as kicking power, but I think, this build actually does look good. He's got the 85 curl too. So If you're not someone who's going to focus on the visionary pass, and you just want to play him kind of more normally and just have that visionary pass in your back pocket, this is the build I would go for. I think Cole Palmer is pretty good in this game. He's got good player ID, so he should be effective. I just don't think the pack is worth the money. If we take a look at Palmer's skills, you can see he has got some good ones. The first one you're going to do is he's got double touch and soul control, so go flip flap on him. And secondly, I think I said this earlier, and I say this for a lot of players, you go for acrobatic finishing too. So the flip flap and acrobatic finishing will be very effective on him. Then again, go for a Marseille turn or a cut behind him turn. I think for Palmer, I would be more likely to go for a Marseille turn rather than a cut behind him turn. He's only got the medium weak foot, so cut behind him turn is very effective for putting like switching foot. So you don't want to do a cut behind turn onto his right foot really. So I think Marseille turn would be better. Then I would go for weighted pass just to help with that them true balls with the visionary pass. And then this one is because his defensive stats actually don't start off too bad, and he kind of is tall and he kind of like a big build. He's actually all right at intercepting the ball, so I put one track back on him to help him that. Because if you play him centre mid, AMF, right mid, right wing, it doesn't matter where you play him. I think he'd actually be a good SS as well. Track back will be effective on him just because of his height and his kind of physical presence. So definitely put track back on him. And then if you're playing him right mid, put pinpoint crossing on him. You'll be able to cut inside and shoot or go outside and cross. Even if he has the medium weak foot, if you're in good balance, the pinpoint crossing should still work effectively. And then if any of them other skills don't make sense to you, you don't use the kind of skill moves, go for a scissors feint or a fighting spirit / super sub. Basically, if you're not going to start him, go for super sub. I think he would be a good super sub, just like he was at the Euros. He was changing the game every time. So it's a bit annoying that a good Cole Palmer card came out in a pack that I don't think is worth spinning. So I definitely I wouldn't recommend spinning this pack. To be fair though, some of the other players are decent. Isaiah Emery, but we got him in the French pack too. It shouldn't be any different. This build. This card Tell is good in the stat balance mode. I don't think he's that good in Dream Team, unfortunately. And we've got a Guler as well. Yeah, that was the other guy. Guler looks pretty good. And he is good in this game. He's similar to Palmer. He's not as tall, not nearly as tall, but he does seem like he kind of has that big build. It must be something to do with the length of his legs or something. Unfortunately, we do have a Garnacho, but he doesn't have any skills. Like Konami, what he's doing. That was annoying. But yeah, that's the end of the video. That's the training guide and the recommended skills. So let me know if you guys think this pack is worth it. Because I think if it had phenomenal finishing Haaland, it might be worth it. Without the phenomenal finishing, I don't think it is. All right, bye.